Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy II on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode, we defeated the Giant of Babel, and I returned here to the Underground to get the Leviathan summon. So, off screen, I went and defeated Leviathan, got his summon here, and I'll show that off during this episode. He basically is the same thing as his normal attack, where he just shoots that big wave across the screen. But it's very, very powerful. And speaking of very powerful summons, we are going to be getting the most powerful summon in the game later on. So, first I'm just going to, my OCD is telling me that I need to get rid of, I like to park all the airships in by Baron, and then I like to get rid of all the black chocobos that I'm going to have to use to do that. Once you defeat the Giant of Babel, the black chocobo becomes available in the forest to southwest of Baron. Remember before they were only in that forest where Troy is, but now they put one in the forest by Baron Castle. So that's the key to basically getting all the airships to where we want them to be, or where I like to put them by Baron. It's only fitting because Baron is supposedly the only place that has airships, so we're going to take this chocobo and we're going to head over toward Mysidia, because that's where we left the Enterprise. And Mysidia is also where all the characters who participated in the battle against the Giant of Babel are basically hanging out. If you go to Troya, the clerics ain't there. If you go to the Dwarf Castle, King Giant and Luca aren't there. Edward is gone from the thing, and the nurse and the doctor, they're gone too. It's just Edward's horse is just there. So, and Yang is gone from the Sylph Cavern, so. And speaking of gone, the party is gone thanks to Nell's smoke spell that I showed off there. So the Enterprise will pick it up and fly back to Baron. We're also going to head up into the Wishing Tower, the Tower of Wishes, and we'll just talk with all the folks up there. In the remake for the Game Boy Advance, this is the time when you can go and switch party members out. So when you go and you talk with some of the old party members, they'll basically say like, hey, take me instead, and you can switch out who you want for your final party. Talking with the people up here also opens up the room where Rupes became a paladin, and it becomes a new dungeon where you can get like endgame level equipment for all these 5 characters. So you get like new weapons for Yang, Edward, Palamporum, and Sid, and some new armor for them as well, so that they can be on par with the characters you currently have. This may be your destiny. Go again to the moon. But we can't do that in this version, so we're just gonna head to the moon, and we're going to get the most powerful summon, Bahamut, the King of Dragons and the Lord of all the summoned monsters. When he went to King Bahamut before, he said, hey, you didn't have the approval of Leviathan, so I'm not going to talk with you. Well, now that we have defeated Leviathan, basically gotten his approval, we can engage Bahamut in battle. He is the ultimate summon. I'm just going to move the hovercraft over to this island over here. It's a little shorter trip. If we have to come back to that cave if I get the pink tail. And now we're going to park our airship here. And we're going to take a black chocobo down toward where Elben Castle is, so we can pick up the big whale. Now when you get a new chocobo, the old chocobos will disappear, so the black chocobo that we left over by Mysidia is now gone. I guess it just on its own flew back to that little forest there. Remember they said the black chocobo always flies its way home. So we'll park this one in this forest here. And then we'll go over and grab our big whale. Then we just gotta get one more black chocobo, because I don't like to, if you don't do this next part with the next black chocobo, that black chocobo will always just stay there in that forest until you get on it again. Then you'd have to take another black chocobo to get whatever vehicle you took to get to that black chocobo. So what I like to do is I'll fly the big whale over to the black chocobo forest, go into the black chocobo, go into this forest, grab another black chocobo, and then just fly it like one space over, and then hop on it, and then have it return home. So then that way, all the black chocobos are off the map, they're all comfortably back in their homes, and all the airships and stuff are right at Baron where they should be. At least where my OCD tells me that I should put them. So yeah, this will make that chocobo that's down there by Elven Castle disappear, and then we'll make this one disappear by having it fly back to its home. A real short trip back home, because, oh, there it is. So now you notice I'll hop into a big whale, and I'll fly by those two places, Elven Castle and Lucidia, and you'll notice that the black chocobos are gone, so all the chocobos are safely home. Because, you know, the world is in danger, you know, but before we can go save the world, you have to save the chocobos. Priorities. So, yep, see, chocobos are all gone. And now we can head to the moon. Land here. We'll talk with the crystals. You can't just go right inside the airship. In Final Fantasy VI you can. When you're flying, you just press one of the buttons and it takes you inside the airship. Can't do it here, so we just gotta land. Go through a little bit of a scene there. And we go once again through this scene where we fly to the moon. And we're not going to park there. We're going to park up here. Because like I said, we want to go to Bahamut and recruit him. He is like the most powerful summon in the game. Unless you like max your level out and max your hit points and stuff out with then the Mist Dragon could theoretically be stronger. That would take so much work and effort that Bahamut's mainly going to be basically your best summon. So this cave's sort of small. Good thing we don't have to refight those Behemoth enemies anymore. They're just a one and done thing. They will become a regular enemy later on in the final dungeon, but you don't have to fight them again here. So. But one thing we do fight is this Ging Ryu, which is a enemy that we did not encounter when we were going through here. They're pretty common though in the final dungeon, so I wasn't worried about missing them here the first time I went through this cave, because I was like, you're definitely going to run into them in the final dungeon. So, they also going to have a slightly stronger version of the King Ryu. And they often appear together. Ging and a King Ryu together is a common enemy formation. It's always scary to see a tornado-like attack like that. I think it's going to function like the weakness spell and take you all down to single-digit hit points. But that's just a weak attack there, so we're safe. Now, we ain't going to be too safe against Bahamut, because the best time to fight Bahamut is when you have FuSoYa in your party, because FuSoYa has the wall spell, just like Lily does. And you want everyone in your party to basically have the wall spell on them to survive Bahamut's Mega Flare attack. Remember, they said, like, you should, in the library, in the Summon Monsters area, it said they should reflect his power back to him. That's how we're going to basically defeat him, so. But Bahamut says, hey, just because you defeated Leviathan doesn't mean that you're, like, true heroes. You could be done, you know, by someone evil. I will determine if you truly are blessed by the light. Bahamut has less hit points than Leviathan, 5,000 less hit points, but he doesn't have any elemental weaknesses, so he's weak to his own attack. So we are going to reflect that attack back by putting up the wall spell on as many characters as we can. Unfortunately, because of Lily's speed, she's only going to be able to get it on 3 characters. We could maybe have Jarvis potentially survive as well if you time his jump attack properly. That Jarvis will be in the air when Bahamut reaches 0 on his countdown. Because that's when he's going to change his form just like Leviathan does, and he'll unleash his like ultimate attack. But those are the only attacks that Bahamut does. That's the only attack that Bahamut does. He counts down and he shoots the Mega Flare. And then after the Mega Flare he just goes back into this like waiting game. So I was just in a hurry to kill him, but I could have if I wanted to. After he knocks out Jarvis and Georgie here, He used the life spell and brought them back to life. And you can cast a Mega Nuke. Anyone who has the wall on them, it reflects it back for max damage to him. And then he just goes back into the countdown again. So you can use this opportunity to revive your characters. I didn't realize he was at that low hit point because I was about to have Lily start reviving characters, but didn't matter. It's okay. He missed out on some experience, but we're getting. I'll be doing a little bit of farming in the final dungeon, not because I'll need extra levels, but because I want to get everything in the game. And Georgie gets the Meteor spell at level 60. So you're the first Master Bahamut accepted. You seem to carry a lot of responsibilities with you. Indeed, we do. Now just bring everybody back to life. I should just use life 2. I don't know why I was worried about saving magic points. Because not only do we have the Great Whale we can just have a free in at, but we're going to be heading back to the Crystal Palace where we first met FuSoYa. Because remember there was that core that we couldn't get into earlier. It was blocked by Zemus' will. Well, now it's going to be opened. The crystals will allow us to enter that core and they'll basically tell us that FuSoYa and Golbez went in there. And they've been in there for a long time. So, that doesn't really make sense. They've been there a long time if you just immediately after defeating the Giant of Babel, hop in the airship or the big whale and get here. But I guess, like, it makes sense seeing that, you know, in this playthrough, I went back to the land of summoned monsters, defeated Leviathan, you know, moved around the airships all around the world, traveled back to the moon, went to Bahamut's cave, fought him. So, yeah, in this instance, I guess it is true that Golbez and FuSoYa could have gone down into the core a while ago. We'll explore the core again in the after years. It's probably my favorite chapter in the after years. It's the moon chapter. You get to play as Golbez and FuSoYa. I don't know, I just love the atmosphere of the moon. It's really neat. I always wanted to go to the moon in reality. People are like, that's not to be dumb. What's there to do on the moon? It doesn't matter if there's nothing to do on the moon. The fact that you can say, I walked on the moon. I mean, that would be awesome. What also is awesome here is we're going to get a lot more plot dumped on us by these crystals here. So I'm going to talk with all of them. You'll find words that once endangered the lives of the Lunarian sealed with Zemus below here. Alright. We shall guide you to the path that leads to the core. Alright. And to get to the final dungeon, we just step on that glass tile over there, go toward the core, and the crystals will warp us there. But we're not going to do that right now. Even FuSoYa should have a hard time fighting against Zemus, who has increased his psychic powers. We will go out and make our save first. Between our conflicting powers is just an enormous amount of energy. All our powers are being used to neutralize the powers of Zemus from the core. So, this is a really, really long dungeon. Thankfully, there's a few save points inside. Clue and Sun went inside, and they've been in for quite a long time. That goes back to, well, that makes sense because we were doing a lot between when we defeated the Giant of Babel and when we got back here. So, we can't warp out of here, unfortunately, but you can use the exit spell to leave the final dungeon. You just can't use it while you're inside the Crystal Palace here. By using the exit spell in the final dungeon, it doesn't matter where you are, because it's kind of broken up into like two areas. It's the lunar subterrane, and then there's the lunar core. It doesn't matter where you use the exit spell at, in either of those two locations, it'll deposit you right outside the entrance here to this Crystal Palace. So, like I said, the enemy is going to be the toughest, you know, in the game, obviously, because this is going to be the final dungeon. So, if need be, you can always just go in there, go and get some equipment, get some good armor and weapons, warp out, make a save, and then make small increments down into the core. That's what we're going to start doing in our next episode. So, take care, have a good one. See you then. Bye.